Hello family, my name is Justice Chembela. Welcome to this Facebook Live on potato production. Happy National Youth Day to you all. When we look at potatoes, did you know that the United Nations recognized potato as a crop of economic importance? And in the year of 2008, potato was recognized as one of the most important crop, and 2008 was declared as the International Year of Potato. So what does it take when it comes to potato production? I always encourage the farmer to always consider the yield, the quality, and the market. When we are looking at the yield, the farmer should always target a specific yield, be it 45 tons per hectare, be it 50 tons per hectare. And when we look at quality, the best quality always sells. The best quality will make the farmer not settle for less on the market. And when we look at the market, the variety that the farmer chooses should always be guided by the market. Kuti musika, urukumbodei, what does the market want? When we look at the economics of it all, we see that a farmer will need an approximate of 7,000 USD for the purchase of inputs such as fertilizers, chemicals, and seed, and also including diesel. And if a farmer gets 45 tons per hectare and potatoes are selling at 80 cents per kg, the farmer will get a total of 36,000 USD per 45 tons. Therefore, giving the farmer $5 per dollar invested. So therefore, it is really worthwhile. When we look at the physiology and the technical aspects of potato, potato is in the Solanaceae family. This means that this crop is not tolerant to frost. Therefore, the planting time will be from August to February. And what is important when it comes to potato are the night temperatures. We always encourage night temperatures of around 12 degrees Celsius, as these are the optimum temperatures for tuberization. And planting potato during this time will have many challenges. There is a high incidence of pests and diseases during this time, and more so, the fertilizers that the farmer puts in the ground are prone to leaching. However, many are called, but few are chosen. But the farmer anokunda kurima ma potatoes panguva ino yekunaya mvura will have a greater reward on the market. So we always encourage the farmer to be mindful of this. When it comes to variety selection, the farmer should choose a variety that is high yielding, a variety that will make the farmer smile all the way to the bank. It is important also for the farmer to choose a variety that is resistant to late blight. There are examples of varieties in Zimbabwe such as Amethyst and Mnandi. And we always encourage the farmer when growing potatoes to have at least 100 pockets to 107 pockets of seed. And when the farmer is thinking about land preparation, we always encourage the farmer to always start with a fine tooth. Kunatsorimira muvhu rakanaka, rakanatsorirwa zvakanaka, rakatsetseka, risina mavhinga. This would definitely determine the yield that the farmer gets. And when we are planting our potatoes in furrows, we always recommend a spacing and interrow spacing of around 75 centimeters to 90 centimeters and an in-row spacing of 25 centimeters to 30 centimeters. When the farmer is targeting a plant population of 37,000 plants to 38,000 plants per hectare. And Potato is different from any other crop because it will tolerate a wide pH range when we are using the calcium chloride scale. And we always recommend the farmer to always start with soil analysis to determine the pH. Kuti ivuri kuvava here kana kuti riri kutapira. Potatoes are tolerant to a pH starting from 4.2 to 5.8. However, we encourage the farmer not to lime prior to planting, as this will put the potatoes in a great vulnerable place. They will suffer from potato scab, and this we know will affect the quality. Anotanga kufunuka otora marishoma pamsika. So liming is not recommended prior to planting. The seed quality is important. When it comes to potatoes, my potatoes anodyarwa amera kare when they already have sprouts, and sprouts can be done naturally or can be enhanced by gibberellic acid. We always encourage the farmer to have well-hardened sprouts. I always have a formula that I use. Sprouts equals to stems, and stems equals to tubers. So if the sprouts akaita kunge adambuka, that means you don't have a stem, and also that means your tubers, your yield is going to be affected. So always remember this. The number of sprouts equals to the number of stems equals to the number of tubers. That's where we come in with the logic yekuundira, the region aspect. And when we look at fertilization, I always recommend the farmer, the way we feed a crop that is high yield, that is a late maturing variety, is different to the way we feed a crop that is early maturing. And during this rainy season, fertilization would differ because of the vulnerability that our soils are to leaching. So it will always depend. Is your potato seed potato or table potato when you're feeding your crop? Potato has a shallow root system, so it will require large amounts of fertilizers. Generally, potato will require all the 16 mineral nutrients for it to have a high yield. And potato will require 5 kgs of nitrogen per ton of tubers produced. It will also require 4 kgs of phosphorus per ton of tubers produced, and it will also require 10 kgs of potassium per ton of tuber produced. So therefore it is important. So whenever you want 45 tons per hectare, it means 45 times 10. That would be 450 kgs of potassium required for you to have a high yield. So the crop's requirement for potash are high. And when the farmer is thinking of 45 tons per hectare, we always encourage the farmer to use basal fertilizers that are derived from sulfate of potash. That means our horticultural crops are no farama fertilizers which are derived from sulfate of potash. Faridema fertilizers which have been derived from a chlorine content. Chlorine is not good for potatoes because it will affect the transpiration. It will also affect growth. Being a salt in nature, we require a farmer should not start with fertilizers that have chlorine. So when the farmer is thinking of basal fertilizers, they can go for potato blend, ZFC potato blend, which has an NPK ratio of 10, 19, 25. You see, the 25 is desirable as potato has a higher demand for potash. The farmer should also include gypsum as part of their basal fertilizer. Gypsum is so important as it contains calcium and sulfur, and calcium is important at tuberization, and a crop that has calcium will be more resistant to diseases like soft rot, which always causes losses in transit, in storage. So the farmer is always recommended to always plant with gypsum. When it comes to top dressing, our top dressing occurs at the first region and the second region, and this is usually at 3 weeks and 6 weeks. We always encourage the farmer to come in with potato super top, which is nitrogen and potash. This will eliminate the run costs associated with coming in with ammonium nitrate and sulfate of potash separately. So when you come in with your first region, you come in with your potato super top, and in your second region, you also come in with your potato super top. We also recommend farmers to use foliar fertilizers. Foliar fertilizers are also trending, and they also produce good results because they are essential for the shelf life extension, for the quality enhancement, and even in this season where we are receiving high rains, foliar fertilizers will help boost the crop and help the harmful effects of leaching. When it comes to disease control, I always encourage the farmer to have a spraying program. It has to be religious. It has to be intentional. The potato is vulnerable to late blight and early blight, and the farmer can come in with preventatives such as copper oxychloride, mancozeb, or even diethane M45. So the farmer, if you come in with copper oxychloride this week, you rotate with mancozeb the next week. This will help prevent against diseases. When the diseases kanato pinda munda, there are curatives. For early blight, the farmer can use tebuconazole. For late blight, the farmer can use metamel or ridomigod. But what is important is always to rotate these fungicides to avoid the harmful effects of resistance. When it comes to pest control, it is important to scout kumema munda kuti mumbori nezvimbuyu zvipi. And when you see a pest yashika payatinoti economic threshold or level, that's when we come in with these insecticides. So for nematodes, they are a menace to production. And when it comes to nematodes, the farmer can only see the effects at harvesting when they have blisters. So we always encourage the farmer to come in at planting with nematicides such as oxamin so that they avoid yield losses at harvesting. When the farmer is planting potatoes, they will have a challenge of cutworms. So we recommend the farmer to drench in with lambda or fenvalerate. There will always be challenges of aphids and whiteflies, and aphids and whiteflies are a menace because these will introduce the viral diseases. They are vectors. So the farmer should always come in with insecticides such as Spike Extra, Actara, even dimethoate. So whenever you see whiteflies, whenever you see 2 or 3 whiteflies, you should be mindful that there are millions that you can't see with your naked eye. So never take one aphid for granted, because one aphid that you see with your naked eye, there are millions that you cannot see. So therefore, aphids are threats, and even whiteflies. When it comes to leaf miner, potato tuber moth larva, and even tuta absoluta, the farmer can come in with Spike Extra, Belt, and Ampligo. So the farmer should use more than one insecticide with different modes of action. When it comes to harvesting of these potatoes, we always encourage the farmer to destroy the foliage. This will make harvesting easier. And when we harvest the potatoes, always spray some malathion 1% dust to avoid losses in storage. In conclusion, I would like to encourage our young farmers that if 7,000 kana yawandisa kutanga a hectare of potatoes, why don't you just start with 4 pockets of seed? Start small, then you build up and shake up a hectare. And as an individual, you should know your strengths. You should even know your soils. What grows best in your soils. And last but not least, start small. Small by small, we get to that empire. And yes, we can. Zim youths, we can. Yes, we can. And if God is on our side, who can be against us? Thank you so much for joining me today. See you next time on these technical nuggets. A bumper harvest to you all in the year of 2021. Thank you.